What do you say we just go ahead and jump into it, fellas? We have a lot to do today. Good morning, fellas. How are we doing today? Good morning, good morning. Who's up glorping? If you aren't glorping, get the hell out. Am I right, Mist? What's up, dude? What's up, man? What's up, Lake Down? How you doing, dude? Short intro today, dude. I miss the old Patrouski. Back when all of his intros were only 5 or 6 minutes long, okay? I hate the new Patrouski. 10-minute intro, 8-minute AFK breaks, doesn't get ZAPDOS, actually does get shinies. I hate the new Patrouski. Am I right, fellas? Okay. Yo, Eric, thank you for the Twitch Prime, man. I appreciate that. 3 months of Primarino. Hopefully the content is still worth it to you. Supports me, allows me to be here, dude. Thank you, gamer. Okay. Alrighty, fellas, let's kick off another beautiful day of PokeMMO history. How are we doing today, fellas? Good morning, good morning. My name is Patrouski. Welcome back to another PokeMMO stream recap, your daily source of tips, tricks, news, information, and what's happening inside the PokeMMO community. I will be playing the Iron Man account today, and I will be pushing relentlessly for that ZAPDOS encounter that I still so desperately need. Check out new episodes weekly every single Sunday on my Iron Man account progress, an account that cannot trade nor use the GTL, but is still going to engage with endgame activities like raids upcoming and other high-end PVM. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our daily news and what's happening right now in the game. Let's bring up our little page. Beautiful. Boom. There we go. Now, we all know that Shiny War is coming. I know you're probably sick of me talking about it, but it's a big deal. It's exciting, and it is coming up very soon, okay? It's coming up on July 10th or 11th at midnight UTC. That's actually July 10th at 8 p.m. ET, depending on your time zone, right? So, for me, Shiny Wars begins July 10th. That's in 2 days. We are 2 days watching the stream recap. It's 1 day. We are 1 or 2 days away from Shiny Wars, man. That's fucking exciting. And with the new Shiny Wars live leaderboard, I can't wait for it, man. It's going to be beautiful to wake up every single morning, check the live leaderboard, see who's doing what, who's where, you know, how's it going, how's the competition. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's the Shiny War stuff covered. Let's continue onward. A Growlithe catching event is coming up tomorrow on the 9th, or if the stream recap today. So make sure to watch the recap early to never miss out on these catch events. July 9th at 1 p.m. ET, Route 5 in Kanto. Growlithe, Vulpix, all these cool mons over there. And then there is a shiny Growlithe prize to try to win. Very beautiful shiny. Not the hardest shunt in the world, but not the easiest either. Usually like a nighttime, daytime kind of shunt if you want to do it efficiently. So a really good one to win for free alongside some 1000 RP. Plus, if you shiny hunt your own Growlithe, you're not going to get these kind of stats. A 3x31, 3x28, a competitive Arcanine, you know, that's a little bit different. And then next up, on the 11th of July, is a shiny Snubble catch event at 5 p.m. ET, Route 34, Johto. This is on Friday. Snubble, a bunch of other mons, and shiny Snubble. I love shiny Snubble. Very fucking cool Pokemon. This is coming up on this Friday. Check that out, or be square. All right, next up, we have suggestion box stuff / like general discussion. This is a really big deal. As someone who has shiny hunted for Shedinja, this is really interesting. Let me lay some groundwork, okay? Actually, no, you know what? Disco Shiba lays the ground. Let's just read what he has to say. This post is called, "You can actually shiny hunt Shedinja without having to log out / log in over and over again." Now, if you don't know what that means, don't worry, he explains it. I'm not sure if someone found this mechanic yet, but I'm going to share it just in case. Usually, players who shiny hunt Shedinja log in and back out, log out and back in to make the shiny hunt much faster. I have done this method in the past in certain Shiny Wars. The issue isn't the evolution animation, but rather all the moves that it learns which consumes a lot of time when it's evolving. If you don't know, Nincada is a very weird Pokemon. The way to evolve Nincada, well, you evolve it normally by leveling at 20, but when you evolve Nincada, let me show this really quick. When you evolve Nincada, as long as you have an empty party space with a Pokeball in your bag, it will split off into a separate Pokemon, Shedinja. In PokeMMO, you cannot evolve a shiny Nincada and get a shiny Shedinja guaranteed. That's how it works in traditional Pokemon, but that doesn't work in PokeMMO because we have shiny breeding, right? If that was the case in PokeMMO, then you could essentially have infinite shiny Shedinjas, if that makes sense. If it worked the same way it did in Pokemon that it did in traditional Pokemon, you could evolve a shiny Nincada into a shiny Ninjask, and then also get a shiny Shedinja, and then buy a shiny, breed that Ninjask down into a Nincada, and do it all over again, effectively getting infinite Shedinjas, which would be really funny and weird, right? So instead, Shedinja operates on its own individual role. Every single time you spawn or create a Shedinja, it can be shiny. It's one of the nichest, most interesting shiny hunts in all of Pokemon, in my personal opinion. So you have to evolve 30,000 Nincadas to get a chance for a shiny Shedinja. Let's keep reading. Coincidentally, I just found a way to skip all of the learn move animations without having to log out. When the learn move starts, after giving the XP candies, you used to use Tentacruel Hordes, now you use XP candies, you just start spectating a PvP game, and it will skip all of the learn move animations. I would love to test this myself. I don't know the best way to like spectate a game, but this is really fucking interesting. I don't know if, I'm not sure. Now, this might still not be the best method. Like, to me, my skepticism is it might still be better to log in and log out, or log out and log in is what, yeah, log out and log back in, unfortunately, which spams team chat. People actually talk about that. Yeah, it's super, super interesting. It's very, very interesting. It's a weird situation, but if this works, it's a really cool option for other players, in my personal opinion. Thank you for the sub, Bam. What's up? Twitch Prime. Next up, we have more suggestion box stuff. This is from Blaze BLK. And he simply, I think he's on the right track, and I wanted to use his forum post as a talking point, even though I may not personally agree with the methodology which he chooses to achieve that goal. So he talked about, Blaze says, do something to get people to play more UU and NU. I mean, I agree. I would love to see UU and NU get more love, especially NU. I love NU as a tier. I haven't played it actively in a very long time, and I'm not very familiar with the current NU, and that's part of, you know, I'm an old school NU player who loved NU, who has fallen off of NU, and I'll explain why. He says, I think they should put some sort of temporary bonus in the PvP tiers, such as giving double BP for 1 month. Yeah, I personally don't think increasing the rewards for PvP is the way to get people into PvP. That's always been my take. I think PvP rewards should be something. PvP rewards should not be amazing, in my opinion, and don't need to be amazing. The benefit, the fun of PvP should be PvP itself. People getting into PvP for the rewards, in my opinion, aren't going to last, and they aren't going to enjoy PvP. They're going to be too frustrated. It's like getting into, like, ever played League of Legends or Overwatch ranked, but you play only for, like, your elo, only for, like, your rank, your SR? That shit's not fun. That quickly, like, drives you down a path of insanity. You have to actually enjoy the game itself, right? So, in my opinion, I think raising the rewards is not the way to get people into these tiers, although I do firmly believe that getting more people into UU and NU is really important, especially NU. I think, I mean, I just love NU. My problem is, I can speak from personal experience, as someone who used to play a ton of NU back in the day, NU to me doesn't feel like NU anymore. It doesn't feel like we have any lower tiers now in PokeMMO. All of the lower tiers are just extensions of OU. The power levels are so high in lower tiers, they don't feel like lower tiers anymore. When you have powerful Pokemon like Darmanitan, Salamence, and UU, NU, you have Arcanine, Hitmontop, Rotom base form's kind of cool. That's a, you know, Electros, Druddigon. These are like OU Pokemon in different generations. Steelix, Zoroark, Quillfish, Blastoise. Seeing Blastoise in NU blows my mind because I used to use Wartortle with Eviolite as a valid Rapid Spin option back in the day, as it was one of the few Pokemon in NU that learned Rapid Spin. Now, power creep is going to happen. I don't mean to sit here and like, and this is really just like, things are different. So I'm not trying to say like NU is bad right now because there's all these powerful Pokemon. These kind of Pokemon being the Pokemon in NU is actually totally fine. It's really just personal preference. However, I do think it is bad to have so many Pokemon stuffed into one tier. Something I've been pushing for an extremely long time in PokeMMO is the adding of the RU and PU tiers, which are extra tiers which alleviate some of the pressure and stress of other tiers in Pokemon and allows things to be more dispersed. The beautiful part of tiers in Pokemon is that tiers allow not the most powerful Pokemon to shine, if that makes sense. The more tiers you have, the more playable Pokemon you have. And one of the coolest parts about Pokemon is everybody's attached to certain different Pokemon, right? I love Shuckle. I love Stunfisk. And I don't expect those Pokemon, like I don't expect Stunfisk to be usable in PvP. I do love Rampardos. Rampardos I have used in lower tiers of PvP to like decent success at times. Shuckle I used to use the really solid success all the time back in the day in PokeMMO, and I don't expect to reach that same level of success, but it'd be nice if Shuckle was usable in something like PU, a much lower tier. When tons of people's favorite Pokemon aren't usable at all in PvP, I do think it really hurts the interest, people wanting to play them, right? So in OU, we have, what is it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 per row, if I counted correctly. 24, 36. We have about 40 Pokemon in all of OU. 40 Pokemon, right? UU, you have about 12, 24, 48, and then let's say, you know, 55-ish mons. In NU, we have, okay, oh, Patrouski, it's only 12, 24, 36. No. It's also all of this. You end up with like 500 Pokemon all stuffed into one tier, because NU also filters into untiered, and technically, obviously, you can use all these mons in higher tiers, but why would you, right? They're going to be less powerful, unless there's like the perfect spot for your team. Some mons can be the perfect fit for perfect teams, don't get me wrong, or in like certain rain teams or in certain compositions. I get it, right? But all of these mons get left behind. All of these Pokemon end up being borderline unusable because Magmortar can't stand up against Arcanine, right? Like, Emboar can't beat Arcanine. There's so many fire types that are stuck in the trenches because they cannot beat Arcanine. The same with like Hitmontop. There's so many fighting types that are stuck in these dog shit trenches because they just can't outbeat Hitmontop. Hitmontop is just better. Pokemon are supposed to be different, but there are Pokemon that are just better, right? Primeape will almost never be usable in NU because it's just not good enough. It's just, the power is just too weak. But if we had RU and PU to distribute the power levels more accurately, I think, I'd always argue, it would create for more interesting, better play, and more fun lower tiers of Pokemon PvP. It's not, I analyze it as, OU is really popular, right? OU is really popular, Randoms is really popular, UU and NU both aren't popular. If it was just one of them, that would be a different sign. But to me, if both of the lower tiers are unpopular, that seems to me as an unbalance of there's just too many Pokemon stuffed into these tiers. That's just my personal opinion. Now, I want to counter argument my own opinion so people don't think that I just think, oh, it's so obvious, we should just add RU and PU. That is not the case. I think it's really complicated, and there are good arguments on both sides. The easy counter argument is that adding RU and PU might actually increase, or probably would, increase queue times even longer, right? Because then you split your player base among different tiers even more. My counter argument to that would be that I think making the game more balanced and fun and interesting would actually, and have more of people's favorite Pokemon be playable, would increase interest enough to outweigh that fact, and actually more people would be playing PvP. I would be playing a lot more PvP if there was RU and PU in Pokemon. I can guarantee that. That's my personal thoughts. That was a really long ramble about that, but I'm very passionate. I used to be an avid NU player back in the day. I'm very passionate about the lower tiers, so I appreciate someone trying to speak up for that. Anyways, back to our typical stream recap intro stuff. This guy wants to talk about a complete change to the roaming legendary hunt, and he gives an idea where essentially he's like, why not combine the two mechanics of the Phoebus and Latios hunt? I'm pretty neutral to this change. It's pretty known that Q has actually talked about wanting to not change, but not add more of the roaming legendaries in Pokemon. This is actually here, Chef thankfully quotes it. This is from Q, one of the head developers of PokeMMO. Like most of the raids, it's a preview thing. I'm not sure what final form these legendaries will take, but I'm definitely not wanting to introduce more roaming legendaries in their current form. Running around for X hours on the first of the month is mind-numbingly boring, and we knew it was going to be that when we introduced them. These legendaries were introduced that way primarily as a stopgap because we wanted something out of the door for Johto, released while we had peak attention. So Q has been very outspoken about not loving roaming legendaries, and this guy I respect like offers a different alternative, you know. I'm not familiar with these mechanics. I'm just gonna read what he says. The Latios hunt is possible after completing the main storyline, and their location is announced on the TV. In the original game, Phoebus can only be found on a few panels for a few hours. It's very hard to hunt because of that strategy. If you have the aforementioned points only be player specific, to me that crucial To me, that's crucial to maintain the value of the legendaries scenario. So here's an example. After beating Kanto, one would start in the player's house. There, that TV would have a new report on a giant lightning bird seen on Route 7 or whatever. Now we would know where to go for the next 24 hours. So it changes constantly. Once one would spawn, there would be time to find the tiles where the legendary would be similar to the same chance as Phoebus. The number of tiles would be a percentage of the possible tiles, so one could adjust the chance on the site of the route. So the text is a little, okay, I'm trying to comprehend it. Yeah, TLDR, so he wants people to be able to go check the TVs, make it a little more interactive, right? Make it a little more interactive. Make it so that you have to like go to your house, check the TV, see where ZAPDOS is, and then have to communicate with other players. Maybe do like channel 5 or whatever. Have people hunting in the same spot, similar to Phoebus. I think it's an interesting idea. I don't know if I love it personally. It's not my favorite type of idea to replace roaming legendaries, but at least he's presenting an idea and like trying to brainstorm and trying to get some conversation, which I can really respect. Next up, okay, one last thing, boys, and this is probably the #1 crucial update that could happen outside of the game, if that makes sense. This is a non-in-game update, but probably the most important thing we could do to help PokeMMO outside of in-game updates. After the big hiatus regarding Shiny Wars, rescheduling due to miscommunication, blah, 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 it's more apparent than ever that the game needs a regular dev blog. Just keep us, the community, and the GM/CMs informed. Trust me, you will dodge these hiccups in the future. This is how I feel. This has been, I think a lot of the problems in PokeMMO would be avoided if we had better communication with the devs. I think things like a dev blog, even every week or so, or even once a month, even once every 3 months would be divine. Once every 3 months, where they're like, hey, this is what we're working on. This is the problems we're looking at. Like, also, it's really nice when like buffs or nerfs happen. If they say 3 months ahead of time, hey, we're looking into like netball, it might be too strong. I think that would have lessened the blow for a lot of people when the netball nerf came. A lot of people were very upset by the netball nerf, even though I called it like an hour ago, or sorry, like a year before, like 6 months to a year before the nerf happened. A lot of people who aren't as entrenched in the game and don't play the game every single day and maybe just bought 400 netballs didn't know that, right? And that's what's tough. That's what's tough. So I think it's really important if we had an official communication. The same with that old school RuneScape. I always compare to old school RuneScape. Very, very similar games, old school RuneScape and PokeMMO. Old school RuneScape, they do like a weekly or monthly dev blog where they just share, hey, here's what we're working on, here's what we're thinking about, here's the current updates. Like, I think that you don't have to release an update very often, but just the communication of just being like, hey, this is what we're looking at, this is what we're thinking about, or like just letting the players know that they see the same problem. I think a big reason conspiracy theories, and I hate it. I hate that in the PokeMMO community, I have to debunk so many conspiracy theories and so much paranoia. I think a big part of it comes from the devs not communicating. So I empathize with the players who feel paranoid because of that, right? If the staff were like, hey, we're looking at this, we're thinking about this, as opposed to just ignoring it, I think it would help a lot of the problems and a lot of the worries that players have. A lot of players don't know if the devs see the same things that we do, right? The in-game, I think they do a pretty good job, and I like to be charitable. I think sometimes gamers lack a lot of charitability and understanding that others are on the right path and aren't stupid, you know? I think I try to encourage that, but communication would help. There's always like ways to improve that, if that makes sense. So just the devs being like, hey, we've seen a lot of these like shiny bugs, for example, that are impacting players not being able to catch shinies. We are working on it. We just haven't found a fix yet. That would be amazing. That would be so fucking... And obviously, the problem is you will get some players who are like, wow, I can't believe you haven't found a fix yet. Shit, devs. And it's like, to those players, like, fuck you. I'm sorry, but fuck you. You hurt the game. You make it harder for us to have this kind of dev blog and communication. You are literally just dragging us down. Stop doing that. It's okay to be like, man, I'm really frustrated that there's bugs in the game that have literally prevented people like Energy from catching shinies they should have gotten. That's like the Shiny Matang situation. That's really horrible. That's really fucked up, and I really, really hate that that exists. However, I'm not a developer. I don't know how difficult that is to fix, and I can understand and be charitable that it's these people's job to do so. I'm going to bet they're a lot better at it than I would be, and they're doing something that I can't possibly do. So understanding that and being charitable to that is very, very important. But at the same time, I wish they would communicate and be like, hey, we see that it's a problem, we're working on it. I think that would like ease so much stress in so many worries, right? So that's my thoughts on this. Very, very long intro to the stream recap today, but I think a worthwhile one, hopefully. Hopefully you guys enjoy today's stream and enjoy the stream recaps. If you do, like the video as always. It helps out tremendously. And subscribe for daily PokeMMO videos. I'm going to get into running down the ZAPDOS. I will see you guys, I'm sure, very soon with some good chat questions. Woo! What the fuck just happened? Holy long as fuck intro. Holy, wait, stream's not over. What do you mean thanks? What are you fucking talking about? Thanks for stream, bro. Holy, yeah, Tom, what's up, man? I swear if you show me a picture of your mom again, Tom, I'm gonna lose my mind. What a fucking intro. What's up, Nacho? How you doing, dude? 30-minute intro. You don't have 30 minutes? 30 minutes? What the okay. Holy, yep, Trouse. Dude, there was some important stuff talked about today, man. Underwork, come on. I gotta load up Kick, actually, just in case. Shout out to the Kick viewers, man. I appreciate you being here. Kick emailed me that you are live. Fuck, okay, that's amazing. Gotta keep an eye on Kick chat because sometimes we get some bots in here who are like, hey man, we can tell that you're a shitty streamer. You want to buy some viewers? So I gotta fucking remain on Kick chat to be on top of that, okay? All right, we got some beautiful people. Is the ZAPDOS Gamba still going? 6 minutes. You have 6 minutes, okay? Until the Gamba ends. Make sure to go ahead and get your Gambas in if you want. Get your Gambas in. It'll be an anime and only Andy and only watch the Iron Man series. We have manga reader and watch stream and stuff. Dude, I respect it, dude. What's up, Grim? Happy to have you, man. Okay, stream's not actually ending. Don't let people think I got ZAPDOS. You got this. Okay, it's gotta come, right? All right, fellas, we are starting a beautiful day on the Iron Man account, and I am gunning for this ZAPDOS today. I'm actually going to go ahead and start a timer, I think right now. You know what? We're at 4,125 encounters. I can't think of a better spot to be at. I'm going to start a 1-hour timer. Run back and forth. See how many encounters I can get in an hour. That's what I'm interested in. I'm going to pop Expert Lures, use Swarm. My number that I've always thought of is 300 encounters per hour, but I need to know what am I getting effectively. You should be able to get 300 encounters per hour, like if you're at peak efficiency. That's like the most you can get, but I do want to see what I realistically am getting. So you know what? I'm going to start a 1-hour timer starting now over on my phone. I'm going to run back and forth, see how many encounters I can get in this hour, try to lock in as much as possible, much more than normal, and just focus up, and let's see if we can get the ZAPDOS today and see how many encounters we average per hour. Okay, we're locking the fuck in, dude. A false swipe in Kanto. Usually all the TMs come from the Unova shop. There might be a forum post somewhere that shows the specific spots you can get certain TMs, but I'm not sure. Shiny Charm is not allowed. I appreciate the offer, though, and the question. It's E. coli Mamiki. Dude, the fucking legend. What's up, man? How you doing, man? The goal right now, Ant, is to get ZAPDOS so I can play the motherfucking game, okay? That's where I'm at, man. That's where I'm at. I am pushing in about 1 hour. Paydaying is much. You get about 40% of the encounters you would get payday pickuping than versus single encountering. If that, you get way less encounters payday pickuping. Now, it's, you know, if you're on an Iron Man account, the Pokeyen's actually, like, somewhat worth it. If you're on a main account, I do not recommend payday pickuping. Pokeyen's not worth it. Swanked. Awesome name. Thank you for the prime. Yeah, that's the goal, Bretzos. I appreciate it, man. Dude, I literally hunted, ZAPDOS last night in bed with my wife. Like, I was, like, hunting ZAPDOS while falling asleep. Like, that's how fucking... on my laptop. Like my laptop like almost died. That's how fucking cooked I am, you know? Yes, I do have a Discord. It should be linked below every stream and every video in the description. ZAPDOS, this is a great question, honestly. I probably haven't answered it in a while. I probably haven't answered this question in a while, so honestly, let's go ahead and talk about it. Piope asked, why is ZAPDOS so critical? Zapdos is so critical and why it matters so much for a couple different reasons. Number one, I need elemental orbs for my Moltres because I have a really good Moltres that I want to use for raids, and the fire type team is the most important team in PokeMMO raids. Okay, so that's step one, elemental orbs for Moltres, and eventually Zapdos. Step two, Zapdos is the most powerful legendary in all of PokeMMO, I think by far. Step three, Zapdos is meta in a lot of PokeMMO raids. Step four, reason number four, Zapdos is meta in a lot of PVM activities that aren't even raids. Things like the Cynthia and Morimoto fight, Zapdos is the glue to a lot of those things. Reason number five, I believe Zapdos is also really good in certain red refights and Jimmy runs, or sorry, not Jimmy runs, Battle Frontiers. That's number six, I guess. Like red in Ho-Oh, I'm not sure how relevant it is there. I'll have to double check, or like I'll have to double check those. But reason we'll weave in number five as well. Then also the Battle Frontier. I actually really need a Zapdos to even out my current Battle Frontier team. And then like reason number six, there's another one. Did I say PvP? Zapdos is one of the best PvP threats in all of PokeMMO. So like Zapdos, one of the most, the most powerful legendary in all of PokeMMO, like hands down. Maybe argued with Heatran, but like I think it's the most, I would think it's the most, like in terms of every aspect of the game, Zapdos is just the fucking best. Zapdos is that good. It's that powerful. It's so insane. Zapdos is critical for the Iron Man mission. It's a great question, and I want to make sure I answer it in full. Yeah, Zapdos is that critical. Literally, and like also, yeah, also the here, I should have said one more thing. Let me actually include this. Yeah, and one more thing to add on to that is if I don't get Zapdos this month, I won't be able to get it again for 3 more months. That's the other problem, is that if you miss it, it rotates back around. So if I miss it in July, I wouldn't be able to see Zapdos again until October. And if I have to hunt Zapdos in October during the Halloween event month, where I am focused on getting everything prepped and done and totally ready to do the Halloween event, the pumpkin boss, the raids, etc., that would be a nightmare to have to waste my time in the most critical time possible going for a legendary. So Zapdos is crucial. There's the other aspect of like getting each legendary on the account for collective purposes is nice, but yeah. When will you farm for the herbs? I can't until Lunar New Year event comes out. I literally cannot, right? Until the Shaman, until I can get Cressiduas. Is it better than Zapdos? No, Jolteon is significantly worse than Zapdos. In pretty much every, I want to say every area of the game, Haru. Not to be, that sounds so harsh, I apologize. Jolteon is so unfortunately weak. I wish, like, so I assume you're looking at the special attack and the speed, right? And see, like, and seeing that, Jolteon's better. The problem is Jolteon doesn't have the flying typing, which matters significantly. Jolteon gets hit by Earthquake and other attacks. Jolteon doesn't have Stab Hurricane in Rain. The fact that Stab Thunder, it can't spam Thunder the same way that Zapdos does, which increases Zapdos' damage. Yeah, Jolteon is in NU for reference. Jolteon just dropped down to NU because it is so weak and bad in modern day Pokemon. And Zapdos is one of the best OUmons. That's honestly one of the quickest ways to... It's a great question because, like, you might look at the stats and be like, you know, how is Zapdos... your logic is correct. It's actually crazy how good when you add the flying typing is, how much it just changes everything. It's... Electric Flying is just such a fucking good type. It's, like, ridiculous. And you would think, like, oh, even in PVM, even where, like it matters. Like, it's so crazy. Because in a lot of raid teams, you're going to be spamming Thunder Hurricane stuff with Zapdos. Like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. I appreciate the, I respect, you know, the logic, you know, of looking at the stats. Yeah, man, it's, yeah. Pretty nice. Check that out in a sec. I'm trying to lock in here. No, yeah, I appreciate the question, Star Junior. Dude, the legendary catches are so hard. Yeah, the legendary catches can be so brutal. Just make sure you're using... Sorry if I'm backseating you too. Just make sure you're using timer balls. Timer balls are so good. And what I will say is... make sure to use timer balls and make sure to constantly put it to sleep because it might die from PP. The easiest way most people lose their legendary encounter, which just happens, it's just RNG. You can't always control it, is sometimes what's it called? you just lose the legendary. And it's better to lose the legendary, have it kill itself, and re-encounter it at a 1 in 500. It's definitely what's it called? Yeah. If you're I would definitely switch to Power Balls if possible, but sorry, yeah. It literally that's the biggest fear. The biggest fear of fighting legendary is it dying from PP. Yeah. Crazy sentence, but true, man. Oh, did it kill it? Does it only count? Both the same thing. If you encounter your legendary and don't catch it, the next encounter will be 1 in 500. You rank legendary for best to least useful? Honestly, I would love to do that. That's honestly a great... I would love to do that. That's super interesting. I really doubt we're getting an anniversary event this year. I think it's too late. What's up, Choco? Yeah, if it's better to not Master Ball. Like, don't... Like, if your legendary dies, just let it die and go for the re-encounter. Rain Dance, Thunder, Hurricane, Weather Ball. Yeah. ZAPDOS is just so good. So much utility. Yeah, it just does so much. That's frustrating, Echo. Sorry to hear it, man. Or should I call you E. coli? Just vibing? Hell yeah, Choco. What's up, man? How's your day? I'm just waking. I'm excited to fucking go for this legendary. I mostly just woke up. I did a little bit of Pokedex grinding before stream. Mamike. Yeah. On a main account, it is... Did I put out a video recently? Is that video released? If you Google our legendary lore is worth it, I think I have a video out on it now. I think I just put out a video recently. I think that video got released. Is it not in the algorithm? When I Google that question, I can't even find it. I have to scroll way down to find it. It's been a long time. Okay, so that video is not in the algorithm yet. It needs a little more juicing. But here you go. So that's not your fault, because if you Google that question, that video literally does not come up, which is a problem. Yeah, of course, Lysian. That's yeah. What's the Pokemon card opening ASMR? I'm not a huge fan of I love trading card games, and I collect Magic the Gathering. I'm not a huge... I try to not open packs whenever possible. I do it for fun sometimes, but... At the burb yet? No, I'm still running. That's, you know, not yet. Sincerity. As you can see, if I'm still at Pattern Bush, I haven't gotten the legendary, guys. It's the only reason to be here is for the legendary. Delicious ribs. Oh, okay, that's fucking pretty hype. What's up, Karoshi? True Nacho. Fuck. How long ago was the anniversary now? I think it was 2022, right? Yeah, that's weird. It's crazy. Was the anniversary event really 3 years ago? Holy shit. Pretty crazy. We take those Xerex. Glad you got it. Yeah, what Spidget said. So I used to play the Pokemon trading card game competitively. Like, I really like trading card games, and I've played almost every game somewhat competitively. I never got very good at Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon I was decent at. I played a lot of Night March back in the day, and I played a bunch of other different decks. I used to play the PTCGO like pretty competitively, and I really enjoyed it. I've been playing MTG right now. Suck ass, how do I get better? It's really just tons of practice. I think like trading card games are just hours upon hours. Like, it's just, if PokeMMO is a time sink, so are trading card games. I do think MTG Arena, the best way to tell if you're getting good at MTG Arena is drafting, in my opinion, versus like constructed. But constructed. The problem is with constructed on MTG Arena. In physical Magic, you don't... So, obviously, net decking and competitive play is a thing and is important. But you see a fair bit of creativity. In physical Magic, people are a lot more creative. People are looking to, like, flex their stuff, flex their knowledge, etc. MTG Arena, when you don't have that face-to-face interaction, you actually end up with people playing, like, way more degenerate, way more net decks, like, way more cheese combos, like, way more... like horrible decks to play against and play, if that makes sense, online versus IRL, which is really interesting. I haven't played IRL Magic in a very, very long time. Yeah. The current MTG Arena, well, that's why I recommend don't play standard on Arena. The standard metagame on Arena is so fucking boring. That's the best way to you're totally right. I really enjoy Historic and Timeless a fair bit. However, I could go into like I really fucking hate there's no Force of Will in Timeless. I don't think you need Force of Will in Historic, but Timeless fucking needs Force of Will, or at least Days. Holy shit. Timeless and MTG Arena like desperately needs free counterspell interaction. It's what keeps a lot of eternal formats in check in Magic the Gathering. If you play Legacy, if you play Vintage, you know this. Force of Will is like the glue that holds the disgusting stuff together in Legacy. I never played the, what is it called? The lead card game. Legends of Runeterra? I never played it. There is Pact of Negation, but Pact of Negation is usually a counterspell used to like protect your combo. I've played Pact of Negation in like Goblin Charbelcher. Like you play Pact to protect your combo, not to like prevent. You can't play Pact on turn 1 to prevent a disgusting combo player from going off, which is really dumb in like MTG Arena, you know? Oh geez. Dude, I respect it. I've never been into Modern. I super respect Modern players. I wish, part of me wishes I liked Modern. I've always been, I love Legacy. Legacy is just such a fucking beautiful format to me. A lot of respect for Modern, just never got into it. Yeah, you just die. Yeah, exactly. Force of Will Force of Will is a fair card in Eternal formats in Magic the Gathering. It's funny, like, it was debated for so long, is Force of Will broken back in the day, and I think now it might be one of, like, the pinnacles of, like, fair cards in Magic that holds together dumb shit. What about Magician Girl? Ooh, now we're talking. Now we're talking. There's some really cool, yeah. I really liked playing, like, Timeless Lotus Field. Is that the deck you're referring? There's some really cool Timeless decks. I play, like, a Field of the Dead Primeval Titan deck in Timeless, and then I have, I really like playing Charbelcher in Historic, but it's, like, free wins a lot, it's some fair bit. I just started playing a new Historic deck on MTG Arena, actually. I started playing, because I used to play, is it Charbelcher, but now I'm playing blue-green Charbelcher with, like, Mana Dorks. It's very fucking interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look at it in a... Well, sorry. Right now, I'm in the middle of an hour-long test, guys, where I'm trying to do single encounters efficiently. I can try to bring that Rattata up quickly. It's not out yet, Echo, no. But, like, having this... It's going to block one encounter right there already is the problem. Not really a good time for me to do stuff like this, but let me see. Rattata... Ooh. I see why you wanted me to check this out. Holy shit. Someone in chat said, go to the GTL and look at 2015 shinies and click on the Rattata. This is listed for 200 million Pokeyen for reference on the GTL. 200 million Pokeyen for a 2015 shiny. Seems kind of high, doesn't it, right? Silphco level... So what's so insane about this... Okay, I love the stored power. Holy shit. This is an insane shit. Let me explain. I'm getting too distracted. This has every single limited... Oh my god. This has, like, the rarest limited effects, and only those effects in the entire game. On top of it, it was achieved at level 1 at Silphco. Do you know why this is? Who knows why? The reason why is because Silphco used to be where tournaments were held in PokeMMO before automated tournaments. So, if you were spawned in a shiny from the developers or staff members of the game because you won a tournament, it would be met at Silphco at level 1. This has the Squirtle OT, which is also one of the head devs of PokeMMO. So this is a shiny Pokemon that was an event prize back in 2015 with Squirtle OT and some of the rarest particles in the game. This is really fucking cool. That is an extremely cool piece of PokeMMO history. The point is just, the shinies are cool here, crowded, and then ZAPDOS. That's it. Maybe, Pete, what's the theory? Jeweled Lotus to make... How much Amulet plus Jeweled Lotus? Spin Golos. Ah! But wait, that's a... Okay. Anything with door to nothingness, you've got me on board, Kaiju. Okay, I do need to... I know I'm doing an hour-long test, but I'm so sorry, guys. Sometimes I'm gonna pause my timer. Bro, sometimes caffeine obliterates me. I have to use the restroom. Boomer bladder time. I'll be right back as quick as I can, fellas. Give me like 3 minutes. I'm so sorry. I'll be back as soon as possible. All right, we are so back, boys. We are so back. Back to ZAPDOS we go. I have an important... Okay. As I was shitting out my intestinal lining from one energy drink, okay? I need... Where are my doctors at in chat, okay? I had an idea. Yes, I do always wash my hands. If I'm taking a number 2, I wash my hands every time, okay? If I'm taking a number 1, I'm an honest man. Probably wash my hands about 50% of the time. Maybe it depends. If I'm on stream, maybe 10% of the time. Gotta save that time, bro. Dude, I'm not gonna fucking sit here and lie. Anyways, okay. Medical student, thank you. Where my doctor's at in chat, okay? I was thinking on the toilet as I was, thinking about my daily energy drink, yada yada yada. There's people that live to be like 105 years old, drinking like 10 Dr. Peppers a day, or like smoking like a pack of cigarettes a day, and people are always like, lol, like how funny is that? I wonder if, obviously drinking and Dr. Peppers a day is bad, or obviously smoking a pack of cigarettes a day is bad, but do you think that a part of why those people live so long, in spite of those actions, not because of them, right, but in spite of them, is because of the consistency of their life? I'm curious, and I'm sure it's a million factors. I'm sure genetics is a factor, but I wonder if like consistency in life matters so much, especially at that old age, in terms of like I bet not shocking your body every day. Like, how when you eat like shit when you're like 20 years old or whatever, the body's adapted. How when you eat like shit and then you start eating vegetables and your body like rejects it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's kind of interesting. Do you know when you eat like shit, you start eating vegetables and you start to feel worse for a while until you get used to it? I wonder how much of that consistency factors in. Like, I bet people who just drink like 5 Dr. Peppers a day, but have been doing it for like 80 years, the other areas of their life are also probably very consistent. They've probably just not shocked their body in a very long time. And it probably leads to a prolonged... That's my shitpost streamer tier 10 IQ poop theory craft. Okay, so there you go. Keep all that in mind. I think it's an interesting, something to factor in. Now, did I just crack the code to immortality? Possibly. Someone's gonna have to do some research, obviously. Go, Mr. Pew. Go hit it up, man. Do your research. And sleep is the most important? I have no idea how. I have no idea. This is, as the basis for this is very unique because each body is different. Everybody basically cells and genetic types. Yeah. We need Mr. Pew to do his research. How much time? Probably like 40 minutes. 40. I restarted it. 41. 30. We still have a long time. I probably just. What if I just throw the timer on screen instead? That'd probably be a lot cooler, wouldn't it? Than a timer on phone. The problem is, I say this every time. Whenever I put a timer on screen, everybody that comes, and it's not their fault. No, they're not doing a bad thing. But it's like, if I put a timer on screen, every single person who comes into stream asks, hey, what's the timer for? And then I have to explain every single time. Oh, it's blah, blah, I'm doing a test, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, like it's a valid question, but it is really annoying. Easily my least favorite part of, not my least, one of my least favorite is like repeating the same thing over and over again. And that's just part of the fucking territory. You better get used to it, I'm going to change this to 40. There will be 40 minutes left in about 40 seconds, and I'll start the timer once we get there. What's the timer for Rage Bay? Yeah, I think what are your favorite Chinese? Shuckle number 1, Rampardos number 2, Stunfisk 3. Super supercharged at a point where the state is normal, losing the potency is very much a bad thing. Okay, so supercharge. So basically what you're saying is that Dr. Pepper supercharges your cells. Okay, I think I'm understanding, J-Rays. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I'm shit posting, but I appreciate you trying to actually explain with medical terminologies. I'm not educated. I don't know shit, dude. What a cool timer. Wonder what it's for. Yeah, what's up, Sven? How you doing, dude? Okay, we just hit 40 minutes on the timer. Okay, we're gonna switch our timer, boys. The new timer is now on stream. Lower chances of finding ZAPDOS. I actually I could be wrong. Wait. This is not true. I've heard someone. So I've heard I could be wrong. Okay, I want to preface by saying that I could be wrong. I've seen a lot of people say this, and I'm pretty sure it's not true from what the devs have said. Someone in chat said, you're phrasing it as, I have a theory using lures might actually lower your chance of finding Zapdos. Legends only appear in single battles. That is not true. From my understanding, I could be mistaken. From my understanding, the way it works is each encounter has a singular chance to roll for Zapdos, and the Zapdos overtakes the encounter, right? So whether you're getting a wild ×5 horde, from my understanding, you don't get 5 individual rolls. But if you get a random wild ×5 horde, Zapdos has that same 1 in 5,000 chance to replace the encounter. If you're getting wild ×5 hordes or double encounters from the lures, from my understanding, what the devs have said on the forums, it is not lowering your encounter to get a Zapdos. Zapdos does not only come from single encounters, it just overtakes the encounter and turns it into a single encounter. I appreciate, like, you're thinking about it. You would only know what I'm saying if you spend way too much time on the PokeMMO forums and like read everything the devs fucking say. So like Pete, I respect you, like you're using good logic and you are coming to good conclusions, but from what we've been told from the devs, from very specific mechanics, the double things shouldn't matter from my understanding. Can we test? The problem is, what do you mean? There's no way to test because we can't test legendary rolls. So Pete, I haven't used lures for 95% of this hunt. I'm only using lures today. Oh, I forgot to fucking pop them. I'm only using lures today because I'm trying to get as many encounters in 1 hour as possible. There shouldn't be a way to actually pragmatically test that, I will say, Pete. That shouldn't be possible. We can't. It's literally just a mechanic thing in the game. Yeah, each battle is a legendary roll, regardless of. That's what the devs have told us on the forums. I would say it definitely is Roar, almost unfortunately, because there's a whole beef there. Like Stream Elements probably did just fucking rip the code from OBS and just use it, you know. There's a whole beef there. Well, I am using lures now, but I haven't been using lures for 95% of this hunt, Pete. I appreciate, dude, I understand. I'm losing my mind too, and I'm so dry for a legendary. I'm pushing 15k. I think I'm actually almost at 16k. I lost track. I'm either once I hit 4,500-ish, I'm either at 15k or 16k. I think I might be 15k already. Dude, good luck, J-Rays. Yeah, absolutely, Finny. Yeah. Yeah, I would say Stream Elements is better to manage than OBS. Once again, almost unfortunately. No, I appreciate you trying to help me get every little inch that I can out of the hunt, Pete. I really do, you know? You guys got lucky. Yeah, it's just RNG. Like last month I got Moltres in 2,000 to 3,000 encounters, you know? Like luck just happens. I've been very lucky on this account overall, you know? It's gonna make sense that I go dry for one hunt. It sucks a little bit. I'd rather be dry on shinies than legendaries on this account, but it is what it is, man. Dude, hell yeah. What you do was the shiny Ditto itself, dude? That's awesome, Sloth. Congrats to you. Congrats on the shiny, Bruce. I feel that, Lycian. I feel that. Good luck to you this month on Zapdos and Entei. Two shiny Poliwhirls. Wow. Oh, that's a great shiny to get duplicates of, honestly. I saw people saying it in chat, Tom, but I wasn't able to comment on it. That's crazy, man. The in-game encounter counter will either come out, I mean, any day. We should get an update, a small quality of life update in the next 2 days or so. Hopefully it comes before. We'll have to see. They might be trying to get the in-game encounter counter, like, for sure. I don't know. We'll either get the in-game encounter counter in the next 2 days or in like a month and a half. We don't know which update it'll be, Kevin. It'll either be in 2 days or month and a half. It's either going to be before war or after war. The color was the shadow leaderboard. Wait, do you think so? I don't think so. Right? Wait, hopefully. I didn't. I mean, the leaderboard to me, I guess it is a. Huh? No, but they didn't post the leaderboard thing under the updates page on the forums. So I wouldn't. Low-key, I think so. Yeah, mid-war. Yeah, Karoshi. We'll either get it or we won't. Chat. Odd news. No, that more Mando. You're fucking spitting facts. Yeah, like it is what it is, man. It will definitely not be G-Stroms. Oh, I could be wrong. I shouldn't say definitely, but 99.9% chance the encounter counter is not retroactive. I appreciate the hopium, Pumpy. We've never seen a retroactive encounter counter. I don't think that the devs even store our individual encounter data anymore. Like, I'm not sure. With the training wars and then when the resources for the encounter counter be in the game. That's the, yeah, they have to be, it has to be an in-game. It has to be like something in the code that tracks the, yeah. Game on our side. Yeah, I can't speak on the details. I appreciate the insight, Jake, but yeah, I just have no idea. Not a developer. Another move pool. Move pool is an interesting idea. They need to be balanced in some way, and I respect you going to, like, I don't know if move pool is the way. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's tough. How to add legendaries in PokeMMO is a very difficult thing, and that's why it's such a, you know, why it hasn't been done for so long and wasn't done for, we've only just got legendaries over the past 2 years or so. I think we just slowly trickle them in. Well, it's very possible we see more legendaries this event season. We saw more last event season. Like Jirachi and Heatran and Darkrai were all new last year. Yeah, right? Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. Videos are so annoying, they definitely can be, yeah. I personally agree in a lot of ways, Nextrom. I don't love legendaries being in PokeMMO, but the ones they've introduced so far are mostly fine. It's funny, I'm hunting for ZAPDOS right now. I don't love ZAPDOS being in the game. ZAPDOS is so fucking good. ZAPDOS invalidates so many other electric types from PVM, from PvP. Like, ZAPDOS is just so good, man. One of the biggest examples people say, oh, just add all legendaries and ban them from PvP. That solves everything. No, that solves like 10% of the problem. When ZAPDOS came out, I personally went from being able to beat Morimoto and Cynthia about 50% of the time with 6 Pokemon to beating them 100% of the time with 3 Pokemon. ZAPDOS was literally the perfect glue that it was like Garchomp, Cloyster, Zapdos are like the only Pokemon you need now to beat Morimoto and Cynthia. It's fucking crazy. It's possible. Yeah, it's possible we see an alpha, and I like the way you think. Yeah, I like the way you think, Josh. It is possible we see more legendaries added to PokeMMO this year during the event season, similar to last year. Last year we got Heatran, Darkrai, and Alpha Suicune and Jirachi. Those were all, I believe, like late 2024 and 2025 editions, if I'm not mistaken. This year, it's possible they bring back like Alpha Entei as like it's possible we see another Alpha Legendary Beast. It would be weird to introduce Alpha Suicune and then not any of the other ones. So it's an interesting idea. I liked it as well, Nextrom. Most people hated it. I don't see them bringing back the Darkrai Orb thing because I think a lot of people hated it. No, I mean, I honestly, Cody, I could be wrong. I think it's a decently popular opinion. No, yeah, unpopular opinion, but I really didn't like the Alpha Suicune raid from the last holiday season. I don't think it's even that unpopular of opinion. I could be wrong. The problem with the Suicune raid was that it was ridiculously hard, and you needed very specific Pokemon for a very limited time raid. So People actually saw a comment recently. What do I? How difficult are the other raids compared to Heatran? I think Heatran is the most difficult raid in PokeMMO by far. If you've done Heatran, you should be able to do the holiday raids like pretty easily. However, the massive difference is you have infinite time to do Heatran. You have infinite time to prepare, find a team, etc. The most difficult part that I think a lot of players aren't ready for when it comes to the holiday season is you have 2 weeks to do 14 raids, and those raids release 1 raid a day for the first 12 days. So you have to be on top of your shit. The hard part with the Suicune raid was like Suicune dropped like in the middle of the event season, and everybody was like already focused on doing the other raids, and it was like, okay, Suicune took me 3 hours to do for reference, and that was like after creating the Pokemon for it or whatever, right? So maybe like a 5 to 6 hour thing just for that, and that was in the middle. That was for that one raid in the middle of the event, and it was, you had to like find a team sporadic. Like, it's really, you have to be on top of your game during event season to be able to do everything. I really encourage players, you have to go into event season understanding you aren't going to be able to do everything. You have to cut your losses. You most likely won't be able to do. I don't think I can do everything as a content creator who plays this game full time. You're gonna have to accept the fact and prioritize, like, okay, the wisp thing with the hell, maybe I just don't do that. Like, you might have to accept the fact very early on, or decide very early on, what things do you want to do and what things do you not want to do. If you want to prepare for this even further, I strongly recommend checking out last year's Halloween event playlist. I have playlist on my YouTube. I wish playlists were easier to advertise. YouTube does not recommend playlists very well, but if you go to my YouTube channel and you go to playlist, you can like Control F or search through the channel, search for Halloween, and you can find a playlist for every single event that I've ever recorded for and ever done guides for, prep guides for, videos for. Find every single video ever done on each event from previous years. So watching last year's Halloween content is the best way to prepare for this one's before it comes out. And obviously I'll do future guides when it releases this year. Yeah, this weekend raid was like really fucking, yeah, I could have done it, but like, is it really worth the time? Like that was the, you know, I get it, man. That's brutal, Matismo. Much love to you, man. Happy to see you in chat, though, dude. What's up? What's up? Dude, I am so excited for event season on the Iron Man account. I think it's going to be, yeah. I think it's going to reinvigorate event season for me, which I'm really excited for, you know? Ooh, a lot of, dude, I am yapping so much today. I'm like only been live for like less than an hour, right? I've been live for about 1 hour. Holy fuck, I've been yapping. So I need to pace myself, slow down a little bit. No such thing as being late to a stream. What's up, Lex? Yeah, the hidden ability was like not relevant. It was really just for the Alpha Suicune, was like the collector's piece. I really hate the wisps. It's my least favorite piece of content and one of my least favorite Pokemon. No, that dude, Pseudo, that's so fucking real. That's so real, Pseudo. Yeah. Also discussing events right now is really funny because like Shiny War starts in 2 days. Like we gotta like, dude, this is the life of being like, this is the Pokemon content creator meme, is like everybody's asking about the next thing and it's like, we gotta do the fucking current thing first, bro. What do you mean like the next thing? Like we got fucking, you know, we got hella shit right now, you know? Ugh. That's for sure, Xerix, for sure. There's a lot of relevant, I think electric types are just generally a little weaker and on average pretty frail and stuff. I get that, Xerix. I think it's all different amounts and percentages. I do think ZAPDOS impacts their ability to be relevant, but you know, I think for sure your arguments are good. Dude, yeah, Shiny Wars starts at 8 p.m. ET on the 10th of July. So in about 50 hours? No, 48 plus 7 hours. Shiny Wars starts in 55 hours. That's an insane number. Yeah, 55 hours. No, I think that, no, of course, you provided really good argumentations, Xerix. I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure, Hitokiri. Dude, good work, though. Just step by step, Hitokiri. I think all legendaries are 3 times. I think it would be 3 times. It's a funny question, EJ. I think it's 3 times 31. Yeah, still dry, unfortunately, Lex. I'm currently at I'm a little over. I'm pushing 16K. I'm at 15K. in a bit. Once I hit 4,500, 600-ish, that should be about 16,000 dry for a legendary. Shiny War starts on the July 11th. July 11th, Thicky Kitten. Well, July 11th at midnight UTC, which is actually July 10th, like 8 p.m. ET. Absolutely, Finny, absolutely. Yeah, please make sure to do your own time conversions. Dude, good luck to you, Matismo. Good luck to you, man. Dittos for sure. I don't know if anyone will need rares during the event. I could be wrong. You know, obviously do what you think is best. I'm not sure how demanded rares will be during the event, but dittos will definitely be. Wait until people hatch their first batch of eggs, and they're going to desperately need dittos. Like, people will be way more willing to overspend on dittos during the event versus after. Have you heard of my cock? Yeah, my fat cock bopping around your mom's mouth. Nice try, next round. You think I would get caught on Mike Hawk? You think it's my first day? Next round, I've been on the internet longer than you've been alive. Okay, that's probably not true, but you know what? Nice attempt, kind of. Do I even give you that? I love you, next round. You've been an amazing chatter. I have to time you out for 10 minutes. It hurts my soul to do. I'm sorry. It's a terribly failed These Nuts joke, so it's got to be. You have to. The punishment's got to ensue. A salute to you, my friend. I've heard top teams have 20k plus Ditto stockpiled on alt account. Yeah. I've heard in regards to Shiny Wars through a little birdie that top teams have 20,000 plus Dittos stockpiled on alt accounts per players. As a member of Team Mister, I cannot confirm nor deny. All I can say is that people do go fucking crazy for Shiny War, and that there have been people, you have to keep in mind, there have been people who have been prepping for this Shiny War since not even the end of last war, but since the middle of last war. Like, there were people who last year got into the middle of Shiny Wars and were like, okay, my team's not going to win. I'm going to start prepping now for next year. There are people who have been prepping for Shiny Wars for like 13 months. You have to keep that in the back of your head, which is a scary thing to keep in the back of your head. You have to be willing to compete for this kind of event. Yeah, that's good for you, Pseudo. Good luck to you, man. Yeah, it makes sense. I don't think anniversary. I wish anniversary event would come back, but I don't see it coming back anytime soon, unfortunately. I wish, man. I love that event. Yeah, good luck to you. Hell yeah, Lisi. Good luck to you. Good luck to you, Lysian. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. You can yell at me how to pronounce it. Disclaimer, this isn't a Got 'em These Nuts joke, but my grandpa was telling us about a second cousin of ours whose name is Isla, in front of my entire family who blurted out, I'll have to... Okay, that's amazing. Okay, if we have grandpas doing These Nuts jokes, maybe the boomer generation isn't doomed. That's kind of fucking based. True, yeah, true, EJ. Well, it's... Shiny Wars is a lot of... There's definitely luck involved. Just get lucky. There's obviously luck involved, but the harder you... The more efficient and the more tight you shiny hunt, the less RNG there is. We've calced it before. For those who don't know, we have calced it before. Someone who shiny hunts, the difference of someone who shiny hunts 80% efficiently, which is quite good long term over like a month, right? Okay, these numbers were calculated doing ×5 hordes with Leppas over a 2-month Shiny War. If 2 players played the same exact hours and one of them shiny hunted at 80% efficiency and one shot it at 100% efficiency, the difference of shinies by the end of the Shiny War would be a difference of 6 shinies. 6 shinies apart for 2 players that played the same amount of hours but hunted a little bit less efficiently versus more, like, right? Imagine that times 30, right? The amount of people on a team. Shiny War does come down to some RNG, but it also comes down to like who hunts the most efficiently for the longest amount of time way before, like, yeah, it's really fucking insane. It's really, really fucking intense. efficient shiny hunting matters so much in Shiny War. Don't think that you can win Shiny War just from getting lucky. Lucky is a factor, but yeah. I thought in Shiny Wars teams would get like 2 shinies per person. No. I think last year I got, was it 4 shinies during war, and that was dog shit. Last year there were people, yeah, it's like 20. I think last year people, the best players were getting like 20 shinies a person per shiny during Shiny War. It's fucking intense, Hurry. And I love, sorry, I feel like I'm being too harsh to you, Hurry. You're being amazing and asking good questions. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering the same things. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, and some of those being eggs, by the way. It's really, really, really crazy. Yeah, 10 feels good. Yeah. It's really, really insane. I'm just new. You're asking amazing. You're also asking good questions. I really appreciate you in chat. There's a million people who are wondering the same things as you, but aren't brave enough to ask. And we need people like you who are willing to ask. And you're asking you're asking good questions, not in a dumb way, not in like a, I really appreciate you. Anyways, I gotta glaze you too much, but yes, Dart. Yes, dude. Oh my God. Wait, Dart is the person, if I remember correctly, Dart is the person that I think of. Dart, how many shinies did you get last year? Can I ask? You are the person that I think of when I think of making a name for yourself in PokeMMO. Wasn't it you, if I remember correctly, who got like a shit ton of cryogonals last year? I believe Dart was one of the biggest players in my eyes who made a name for himself last year, if I'm not mistaken. I might be misremembering, so apologies. I feel like Dart was the player in my mind that like went sicko mode. 13 shinies last year. Yeah, that's crazy. It massively depends on methods you're doing for shiny hunting, for sure. That was just for the unemployed. Any video game competition, don't get me wrong, it is a benefit if you're unemployed. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend it's not. However, I think most people in Team Mister are employed. Most people who do Shiny Wars are employed, from my understanding. A lot of them just work from home or play on mobile. I always give the example of, there was a RuneScape player who used to play on mobile while doing pizza deliveries, and he would stream himself like playing. He was an efficient RuneScape player. He would stream himself like chopping logs while fucking doing pizza deliveries. Like, is it much harder to be a competitive long-term MMO grinder and player while being employed? Yes, but that's what most people do. Most people have to be employed. Like, there's no, it really does just come down to people putting in more effort. And it's a harsh thing to say. A lot of people just don't, and a lot of people just don't want to put that. It's not that other people like aren't good at it because they couldn't put the effort in. It's that they just don't want to. It's not like, instead of doing Shiny Wars, people choose to go to the fucking bar and hang out with friends and like that's which is totally based. Like, it's just a matter of values and different things. And like, you may want to like go play basketball or go do a different hobby or play a different game, or like, it's not that people who don't do Shiny Wars aren't capable of it. It's just a different part in their life, Yep, people take PTO to take breaks and like be able to focus on, for sure. Yeah. Yep, most PokeMMO players are in like their 30s. Most are a little bit older than the RuneScape, at least when I played RuneScape, for sure. What's the countdown for? It is for a 1-hour test of how many encounters I can get in an hour. We started at 4,125. So we're on good pace right now. Based. There you go, man. What's the minimum age limit? I don't know. I'm not sure if there is one. I'm not sure. The other, I get, so like, when you watch someone literally grind Shiny Wars, you do see like how insane the hours is, right? But there's another thing of like, the reality is being top 1% at anything in life takes a ludicrous amount of time. What do you think fucking basketball players, what do you think LeBron James is doing? He's putting 18 hours a day into basketball, right? Like, doing anything at a high level requires being unemployed or employed in that thing, right? it's that's just what it is, you know. I think a lot of people look at, you know, it depends on what, you know, how your life's gone, or what you've decided, what, you know, choices. Everything takes a lot of time to get good at. Everything's just time and practice and the 10,000 hours to become a master, you know. Yeah, work from home kings definitely can shine on games like PokeMMO, RuneScape, for sure. LeBron James doesn't have as many shinies as us. Yeah, it's kind of, honestly, like, is he really the GOAT? Like, that becomes the discussion because his lack of shinies. Great question. I could dunk on LeBron. Shut up, Tom. Dude, nice job, William. Happy to hear it, man. Cody LeBron Fish. Okay. What's up, Rimmeru? How you doing, dude? Happy to see you, gamer. What's up? Wait, I don't know if I told this story. Oh, I have to find. I think it's my wife's car, bro. Okay, I've been getting back into basketball, and by getting back into basketball, I mean running my fat ass around the court after I miss every shot to get some cardio in, because I'm a 27-year-old adult who needs cardio exercise and doesn't want to go to the gym because it's really fucking boring. So instead, I play basketball and like just shoot around and run after the ball as it rolls down a hill after I airball for the 50th time. Anyways, so the other day, my inner child came out. Okay, this is like also my inner like competitive whatever the fuck, right? I always do this thing where I don't allow myself to leave the basketball court until I complete an arbitrary goal. Okay, so the other day I had the arbitrary goal of I'm not going to leave the court until I hit a half court shot. Okay, something we all did as kids, I'm sure. Okay, so you just need to run outside. Yeah, running outside is really fucking fun. That's so true, King. You definitely listen to every word that I said. Running around outside in the blistering sun with no purpose and nothing to do, the human mind actually loves doing that. That's so true. As opposed to grabbing a basketball and like trying to shoot it in a hole and doing another objective. That is so true, King. You very much listened to what I was saying, and totally. I hope you don't have a girlfriend who asks for advice, because holy fucking shit, dude. Anyway, sorry to roast you so hard over that small little interaction. Anyways, basketball is really fun, okay? Versus like just fucking running around like a gremlin, playing tag. Like we're 5 years old. Anyways, okay. The point I was trying to make is, I had this arbitrary goal I couldn't leave the court until I hit a half court shot, okay? And I was out there for like 30 minutes, okay? I was out there for a fucking long ass time. I couldn't hit shit. It was 97 degrees out with insane sun. My head was like pulsing from the heat. And the more you the longer you go without hitting the shot, the harder it gets. And you're like, fuck, like it sucks. And eventually I missed a shot. I literally had a like Mike story. I swear to God. Okay. I missed a half court shot that missed so bad it rolled down into like this sewer system. I didn't give up. Fuck you. It rolled down, so I had to like walk down and like go down this really steep like 80-degree hill. 80 degrees not steep. The like really steep hill, and get my basketball. And on the way back up from getting my basketball, I found a LeBron James. What's it fucking called? The things that go on your croc? Do you know what I'm talking? A gibbet? I found a gibbet for a croc that was LeBron James' face. I'm not joking, okay? I realize I hit the next fucking shot, bro, and I left the court. I literally had a like Mike moment, but instead of shoes, I found a LeBron James gibbet. It was actually I felt like my life is a fucking movie, bro. Not that's so dude, it was really fucking funny. It was, dude, what are the odds of that? I'm just saying. It was a good fucking meme. I found a LeBron James. This poor 7-year-old kid just lost his favorite gibbet on his favorite croc. Me, a 27-year-old man, picked it up and used it to hit a half court shot and then fucking walk out of there. Bro, it was Matrix confirmed. It was a banger. It was a banger moment, okay? That was my like LeBron story. Wait, okay. We have Space Jam 2 with LeBron James. Where is like James? We have like Mike. Where the fuck is like James? Bring back that franchise. Or what's the what would be the how do you rhyme with that? LeBron, call me on LeBron. What would be the rhyme? Same as James. That's so bad. James. I'm on LeBron. What would the movie title be? Me on LeBron. Same as James. That's so bad. Same as James might be the like Mike equivalent. That's so funny, dude. To be fair, that kid ain't going far wearing Crocs. Okay, that's fair. He is not. Okay, wait a minute. That's kind of based. James Ames. Okay, I don't know what the fuck. Okay, we're cooking. James Ames is. I'm not sure. I've been in sports mode. True. Yeah, true. Can you play Crocs or can you play basketball in sport mode Croc? Is that the definitely not, right? That's the thing. You would get fucking cooked up. Holy shit. You would get obliterated. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not here to argue. I don't watch enough NBA. I'm not here to argue who's better, Kobe, LeBron, Mike. I have no fucking idea, okay? I'm not gonna put my... I'm not putting my hat in that ring, okay? I am asking... What am I asking? Airbud's the best ball player, no contest. True. I am asking, what would you call a movie about LeBron James, but it's like Mike? I think Same as James might be the best thing. Same as James might be the best thing we have, but that's not good. It's like so bad. Being the king, that being and king don't really rhyme. Bring the kid. Dude, I don't know, man. I am asking where the fuck ZAPDOS is. That is true. Game like James. That might be the Bing the king. Lay born to be LeBron. Okay. If an American movie releases and its title is Lay Born to be LeBron, would it make me happy as fuck? Yes, that's so fucking funny. But there's no way that happens, right? AI movie. Yo, that's okay. Now we're talking. You're training for the next. Okay, shut the fuck up, Ignacio. Training for the next bird hunt is crazy. Game like James, it is. Game like James might be the. And you have to even. Yeah. That's tough. I don't know, man. Who would play the kid in modern? Was it Soulja Boy or was it Lil Bow Wow that played like Mike? Was it Lil Bow Wow? Okay, wait, do you guys want to know the thing that makes your brain explode? Do you know who plays the white ginger best friend in Like Mike? It is Oscar-winning actor Jesse Plemons. Okay, little spoiler warning for Breaking Bad. If you haven't seen Breaking Bad and you want a spoiler warning for it, maybe mute for like 30 seconds, maybe less, okay? So, final spoiler warning for Breaking Bad. I'm gonna spoil Breaking Bad in 3, 2, 1, okay? Jesse Plemons, who plays the kid... Let me get the picture up really quick. Jesse Plemons, who plays the kid in Like Mike, is the fucking guy who shoots the kid in Breaking Bad. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, that's the same person, which is fucking crazy. The guy who this kid shoots the fucking kid on the tricycle in Breaking Bad. The scene where fucking Heisenberg, like, holy shit, this guy's insane. Like, bro is versatile. He's like an Oscar-winning actor. Ed Sheeran? No, bro, it's fucking the GOAT Jesse Plemons, who has insane range. That's not him. It literally is. It's Jesse Plemons. Jesse Plemons is the guy in Breaking Bad who shoots the kid. That's not Jesse Plemons? Am I getting rage baited? Yes, it is. Google says it is. That's Ron Weasley. That kid isn't Jesse Plemons. If you guys are wrong on this, let me double check. Let me double check. Okay, I was wrong as fuck. It's not. Why would it? Okay, I'm wrong. No. Why would it list? Wait, am I getting baited by Google? You guys are right. I'm wrong. Why is Jesse Plemons the second listed actor under Like Mike? You're right. It's Jonathan Lipnicki. No, you guys are right. I'm so. You know what? When your streamer was wrong, everybody laugh and throw tomatoes. Ouch! 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 Go ahead. Streamer was very wrong. That's because you're right. That's the kid. That's Jonathan Lipnicki. It's the kid from Stuart Little 2 and Stuart Little 1 and the Little Vampire. You're right. Chat was 100% right. Chat was right. Streamer was wrong. Chat's handsome. Streamer's ugly. You're right. Why did it do that? Points and laugh. I was dead wrong and I was confidently wrong. I apologize. Why what the fuck? Why? He was the bully in foster care. Why is he the second listed actor? It's not even Google AI. That's just Google. It's not that you can't trust Google. I just misread, by the way. It's not like it's a human error, not Google's fault. They just listed him as the second most prominent actor in that movie where the people on the cover are Bow Wow and Jonathan Lipnicki. Anyways, my mistake, but yeah, my bad. Gotta be, yeah, it's easy to be. I feel like that's something like, don't trust Google, but it's like, that was my fault. Like, that was human error, you know? I respect and I understand not trusting the first source on Google as absolute fact, and that's but I don't know. Saying don't trust Google is kind of like saying don't trust the library. Like, it's just a collection of sources. If you only read one source and trust that one source as fact, then yes, that's a problem, but that's a human error. You shouldn't be reading one source, right? To be fair, that is true. I actually super agree with this. I think Google AI is like the most wrong AI that I've seen. No, you're actually spitting facts, AZN. I feel like Google AI is wrong like 50% of the time. That like way more than others that from what I've seen. I think it needs to just be, I assume it just needs more time or whatever. Yeah, no, Cody, and you're correct, Cody and AZN. To be fair, sorry if I'm talking past what you were saying. Dude, honored to hear that, Joshua. What's the hunt for? ZAPDOS. Yes, I love the Little Vampire. Little Vampire is a banger meme. Yeah, no, that's so fair, Kennedy. Good point. Yeah, but it's my fault, AZN. But I agree. The Google AI is not. Yeah, I shouldn't be reading the Google AI response, and then not that I was doing that there. I misread. It was human error, not. Yeah. Anyways, glue on their pizza. I mean, I would try. You know, you can't knock until you try it, right, guys? I would try glue on pizza. How the fuck did I get over 300 encounters in this hour? I'm realizing very quickly that I might just be Omega ass. I locked in like not even that much for this hour, and I'm gonna get over 300 encounters. Okay, I kind of feel like using lures is like Omega worth it. What's the countdown for? We're testing encounters per hour. I should do one without lures now, maybe. I should do one without lures and see the difference. Should be like 10%, but for sure, Sean, which is human, yeah. Mostly, yeah, lures should be better, or are like objectively better. Dude, lures are a great example of like when lures came out, everybody was like, what the fuck are these? Nobody asked for these. Why would they add them? And then everybody realized like, oh shit, Lures are one of the best updates we've seen in Pokemon like in a long time. It's such a good update. The timer is coming to a close on this exact encounter. There goes the cuckoo noise. Cuckoo, cuckoo. We got way more encounters than I was expecting. We started at 4,125. So we can do 4,146 minus 4,125. Dude, what? That feels really good. I feel like I average like 200 encounters per hour here, and I'm realizing that it's not because it's because I'm just shit. Like, this is such a good example of like why playing Pokemon efficiently matters, and why it's easy to be like, oh, like I'm like 2 weeks dry on my ZAPDOS hunt, but like how many encounters are you really getting per hour, right? I watch moves with my wife and get like 200 encounters, 250 an hour here, right? But if I was able to lock in a little bit more, still talk to chat, watch whatever, I could be getting 320 encounters an hour. The difference of getting like 320 encounters per hour. Well, let's do the math. So if you get 320 encounters per hour for 20 hours which is the average legendary hunt, you're gonna end up with 6,420 encounters. If you get 250 encounters per hour for 20 hours, that's a different, dude, same hours played. Two players play the same amount of hours, but one is a little bit more efficient than the other. The difference of those two players is 1,420 encounters over one legendary hunt. That's like 25% increased encounters. That's ridiculous. It is so important. We're not there yet in the Pokemon space. People don't realize how crucial it is to play efficiently, and how it throws off your numbers, and how people, oh, I've been shiny hunting for, you know, however long. It's why you have to track your encounters, and why time is so much less relevant than encounters, if that makes sense. It's really, really, really important to show. Do horde numbers avoid the single encounters? No. So, well, a little bit, but it's the same test if we were doing lures or not, if that makes sense. So the way that a little bit, but it shouldn't affect things too much. So the way that hordes and double encounters work for a legendary is they are one individual roll for the they're one individual roll. They do inflate a little bit. They're one individual roll for the legendary, but you still get 10% more increased chance for encounters from the lore, which is worth it, right? So you still get more encounters per hour, but the double encounters and the ×5 hordes, those themselves don't increase your chance of getting the legendary, if that makes sense. It's just the less tiles walked on grass, if that makes sense. It's a great question. Yes, on this topic, I'm so hyped for the new encounter. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Exactly. Let's see what this last clip was.
And one more thing to add on to that is if I don't get ZAPDOS this month, I won't be able to get it again for going for a legendary. So ZAPDOS is crucial.
Did I start a timer on? Let me see.
I probably haven't answered this.
Let's see this. All right, one sec, chat. No, good question, Dylan.
We're starting a beautiful day on the Iron Man account, and I am gunning for this. But get 300 encounters per hour. Like, if you're at peak efficiency, that's like the most.
Okay, shut up, Via Patrouski. Cringe, Patrouski. Okay, so we could take the timer off screen now. We could test an hour with Outlaws, but I don't know if I care about that. I think I'd rather just keep getting encounters with lures. If I'm gunning, testing day is different than gunning for legendary day, you know? So let's just get back to running back and forth. Now I will say, now that hour test is done, pretty crazy. Dude, I was surprised. Dude, Pseudo, I super agree. I was checking the leaderboards, and I was like, I don't know if there's like 85 teams on the leaderboard, right? And I was like, I'm not sure if that's like how many teams have signed up, or like what's going on with that. I'm a lot. Yeah, it's crazy how many teams. There was like 57 teams that signed up within the first like 15 seconds. It was pretty crazy. But after that initial rush, it slowed down a lot. I honestly, like, so yeah, people don't realize people could still join Shiny Wars. I kind of have been thinking about it on my Iron Man account and just trying to go for top 50. The problem is I need 29 other people who like I part of me really wants to go for top 50 to go for the Charizard. Fuck it, what the ears. No, getting a full roster is really hard. That's really cool. I didn't know they said they increase it for. That's so interesting, Danny. Yeah, I think they're. Yeah, exactly, Kennedy. I don't think sign up is over. I could be wrong. I don't think it ends until the things start. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Yes, the initial surge was pretty intense. We watched it live. It was like literally like 57 teams in like the first 15 seconds. Like it was crazy. The first refresh or whatever. Yeah, that's so base, Lex. I respect that. What do you think the odds of getting an in-game encounter count in the next 2 to 3 days are? 50% or below, I'd say. But that's a guesstimate. What's up, Rainer? It's a guesstimate. Yeah, that makes sense. Rast will have it all evened out. It ends like tonight. Gotcha, gotcha. I'm tempted to join. If people want to... If there's 50, if there's 30 Iron Men who will be playing active, you don't have to shiny hunt, but will be playing actively in the next month, I would try to create a little Iron Man team and see if we could win the ears. Yeah, no, hopefully they don't drop. I doubt it, Danny. I really hope so. I see a few people in the team chat discussing Safari stuff. This is also just my personal anecdotal opinion and experience. I farmed a lot of Magikarps. I strongly recommend, if you're just farming Magikarps for profit, for breeders, I would rock and then ball. If you're catching a shiny, I would just ball. That's the general strat that I recommend. If you're like farming like monster breeders, for the time save is really relevant on the, you don't want to, yeah. Even though it's a better catch rate, just spamming balls on Magikarp, the time save of not having to wait for this is so worth it. You just fish for a new carp, you know? Dude, good luck to you, Rainer. Frillish is a great shunt. That's brutal. Good luck to you. I'm gonna actually go ahead. I think today is finally the day, fellas. I'm gonna go ahead and quick ball this Ariados. One of the last mons. It might be the last mon that I need in Pattern Bush. I've been hunting here forever, and I still don't have all the Pokemon here in my Pokedex. So that might be the last one that I need. I think it is. There we go. Ariados caught with a quick ball. Let's see if it has any stats. The Spinarak we caught had amazing stats. That one doesn't, of course. It makes sense. That's another Pokedex entry completed. We're slowly